another one. All right. I have something serious to talk about.
APZ, APZ, SPZ in the building. We're back. Wah, wah,
blah. All right, I have something really serious to talk about. This is something fucking pisses me off. Look, guys. I'm gonna be really honest. In my entire 20 years of being on this earth, and I don't know if you're gonna see this coming or if you're gonna understand it when it happens, and maybe you'll take it personally. And if you do take it personally, fuck you. I don't care. I have never in my entire life met people as stupid as I've met at university. Business students at university are so fucking dumb. Let me give you an example. Let me paint a pretty picture for you. All right.
Paint the picture.
I'll paint the picture. I do management and public relations. So for public relations, one part of public relations is, and like you seriously better get angry about this because this pisses me off.
I don't know if I should close the door or not.
One part of public relations is crisis management. So basically that means that like whenever there's a crisis, like something bad happens in like your organization or something, it like breaks out and goes all over the media, goes all over the news. There's actually public relations people, actually a team of people that sit in this one room and try and figure it all out and make it not as bad as it can be. Alright. We were studying crisis management for like a good 6 weeks. The point of studying something is that when you study it, you're studying it because they're going to assess you on it later. So whatever you learn, like, am I right? Am I right or am I wrong? Whatever they teach you, the point is you remember what they taught you so that when they test you on it, you can use it. Get this. We're learning crisis management for a good 6 weeks. And then like the whole time they're like, we're going to do a crisis simulation. It's so much time goes into it. It's ridiculous. It's so realistic. You have these computers, you have people calling you, journalists calling you, stories breaking out, and you have to try and take control of the situation, and you have people saying what decisions you're making, and it goes for a certain amount of time. It's ridiculous. For 6 weeks, we have them saying, we're going to do a crisis simulation, we're going to do a crisis, get ready, crisis simulation. And then the day finally comes, they split us into groups of people we don't know, and we start doing crisis simulation. They give us scripts, because in real life, you get a script. In real life,
you don't get a script.
In a real life crisis simulation, when something bad happens, your CEO literally gives you a handbook of what you should and shouldn't do. That's actually real life. So they gave us a handbook of what we should and shouldn't do. And you will not fucking believe what these business graduates did. These business graduates sat down at this table, grabbed their sheets, and they gave the roles out. They're like, I'll be a scribe, I'll be a communication lead, whatever. The girl who was a communication lead, I know like they were supposed to be like the lead, but took it upon herself to actually be like the person in charge. And this fucking dunce was so stupid. She was so fucking dense that she actually swapped her role without knowing with someone else in the group. And this guy, you guys all know mature age students, the one that's like older than everyone else and answers all the questions stuff. This guy wasn't really mature age, but he was like 26 or something. And he'd been working in public relations, but he didn't have a degree. So he came back to get his degree so he could get paid more. But this guy always said, oh, the most experience in answering all the questions. And yeah, well, in my business, this is what we do. He was in the team as well, so he's supposed to be the knowledgeable one. This chick, we all decided what our roles were, and this chick actually at one point switched her role with someone else and then decided that her role was to make up key points to tell the public. So whenever you see a politician or a business person on television and someone goes, well, what do you think about this oil spill? And then they go, look, at our company, we really care about safety, so safety is our first thing. And you're like, what? He didn't answer the question. That's because that's how it's supposed to be. He actually got scripted to give that answer. So basically, no matter what happens, you have to give the answers your CEO wants you to give. Now, in this climate of CSR and corporate social responsibility, where everyone thinks that they're such a fucking hippie and people matter because they don't realize it's just a trend, and in 10 years they're going to be talking about something else, This guy that's been working there for such a long time had an issue with the corporate key messages because he thought that they were too corporate. So basically what this guy is saying to his fucking CEO that pays his bills is saying, fuck you, I don't want to do what you told me to do because I think I'm smarter than you. That's actually what this guy was doing. And this is an assessment when you're getting marked on how much you retain from what you got taught. So this idiot, blonde, dumb, stupid chick who talks like a dumbass is sitting there and is like staring at the assessor that's walking past. She obviously isn't even engaged. She's like, oh, I think that what we should do. And she's just looking at him like she doesn't even know what she's talking about. It's like, we can fucking see that you don't even know what you're talking about. You're just trying to have a loud voice. She ended up going, oh, my job is to create key messages. Number one, it was not her job to create key messages. And number two, it didn't say that anywhere in the fucking thing. So then she swapped her job with the other guy's job. It was like this whole big stupid thing, and then they tried to lie to the assessor and act like they were all on top of it. Basically, the point is that this fuckwit thought that it was her job to create key messages, and then at the end of it, I was so fed up, and I was like, it's not actually your job to create key messages. And she was like, oh yeah, it is. And then the stupid 26-year-old guy was like, yeah, it is. And then I was like, where does it say that? And they went through the sheets of paper, and they're like, oh, it says it here and stuff. And then the guy was like, oh, actually, no, you know what happened? We swapped roles. And then he was like, it was my job to create key messages. And I was like, yeah, but it doesn't say that. And he's like, yeah, it says it here in media communications, disseminate key messages. And I was like, disseminate, not create key messages. Long story short, these guys were fucking idiots. And the best ideas we came up with were mine. I came up with 3 ideas that were actually based on the theory. And we had to do a self-reflection on this assessment. And at the end of the self-reflection, do you know what happened? We had badges, which means the badges are there to identify people by their names. Yeah. Logical step for me to think that the badges were for us to identify each other in the self-reflection too. So I wrote down the name because they said, make sure you have your badge on. So I wrote down their names, and then in the self-reflection, I gave a nice, wholesome feedback sandwich. Because I'm not a fucking dick! So what I did was I started off with some good feedback. I was like, yeah, we did really well. I was really happy with the team. And then I talked about the things that I didn't like so much, the criticisms, which we were supposed to do. And I was like, look, they didn't do this, they didn't do that. They decided that it wasn't in our best interest to follow like the key messages and shit. And then at the end I was like, but overall I was really happy with the team and I used their names in it. So, since I was the only person in my entire group that paid attention to the theory, and I was trying to help them the whole way, and I'm like, I think we should do this, guys, I think we should do this, and they continuously weren't listening to me, and then when I proved them wrong, they didn't say anything. Do you know what I got for it?
What?
I got marked down because I used their names, and they were like, oh, I don't think that you should have used their names, because imagine if we did this in the classroom, it wouldn't have been very constructive to point people out. But we didn't do it in the classrooms. It was on a fucking piece of paper, and they never said we were going to do it in the classrooms, so I didn't offend anyone, because if it was in the classroom, I wouldn't have done that in the first place, and I got marked down. I got marked down when I was the only person actually paying attention to what we got taught. I'm fucking sick of uni students. They're so stupid, and the teachers are fucking lazy as well.